Dustin Minke and Jeff Burns. Boat number 14. These were the magic words I've been waiting for 5 days in Devil's Lake, North Dakota. Mr. Toastmasters, most welcome guests. I was in a National Walleye Tour Championship just 2 weeks ago. I was just introduced to my day one professional angler I was blessed to fish with for my first day in this huge body of water and with the chance of winning big money. Often I fall back in the same personal skills I've learned through many books and in Toastmasters that I've learned throughout my career at Mayo, Marriott, and 125 Live. The first book that I reference is kind of my Bible. It's the Dale Carnegie, Win Friends and Influence People. I took a 12-week program through this class. And then one of the first things you learn is that 7 seconds, the first 7 seconds when you meet someone, you will leave them with a lasting impression of yourself that'll last from 6 months to a year. And they go into how important it is that eye contact, that handshake, and that first meet and greet, you have such a small window to make that first impression. From those skills, that's the first thing I do when I meet my professional. I shake his hand. I'm confident we're going to have a great day tomorrow out in the water. Next, I've learned through the Dale Carnegie is once again the listening skills. And by the way, Dale Carnegie strongly recommends Toastmasters. And because of that, in 2010, I joined Toastmasters for practicing these skills. So often people think your impression on someone is to boast and tell what your accomplishments are, when actually you need to listen to the others in your team and gather the information and then put input where you see needed. I've often built teams at work and different places, and it's so important to listen to each individual. Dustin Minke was a true professional. I just couldn't believe the skills he had. I often reference these fishermen, the professional fishermen, as cowboys, because they remind me of like rodeo cowboys, because the first thing you do is you blast off in the fast speedboat. You're hitting waves, and if you have a hat that's gone, you have to hang on to it. You're almost like riding a walking bronze. Boat number 14, we were ahead of the pack, and we raced out into this massive lake called Devil's Lake. 5 miles out, all of a sudden it powers down, and we're fishing. And I was amazed at the speed that this guy was fishing. He had a pole at each hand, and he was playing a different tune with each rod in his hand. This one is a fast jig. He's like conducting an orchestra. Within 45 minutes, he calls for the net. I run up to the bow of the boat. We netted a 10-pound walleye. And then I saw something I'd never seen before. He stopped, and he took a big breath, and in front of everybody, he takes in the moment. I thought, whoa, this is cool. Another 10 minutes passed, we had another huge walleye, 8 pounds. The goal was to have 5 big fish at the end of the day. And in just a little over an hour and a half, we were well on our way to a winning catch. This is awesome. The big impression I had of Dusty is the speed with which he moved around the boat. I've been fishing for over 50 years. I know how to tie knots. I had snagged the bottom and I broke off. And just like that, Dusty was like a rabbit right up there. And he tied up the lure so fast, that once again, it reminded me of a rodeo. And sometimes at rodeos, a cowboy will chase a calf. He'll lasso the calf, tie it back. He'll run down and he'll tie the legs and then goes, time. This was Dusty. He had it in his mouth. Boom, time. I couldn't believe it. I'm getting older. By the time I had my glasses out, and if I was to tie something and then get a little clippers, he had everything done. It was amazing. I started feeling a little inadequate. And then we're blasting off to the next spot. We set out the rods and we were trolling now. This is called lead core, where you have a heavy line and then a leader, and we're trolling down an old road. And he said, Jeff, if you don't mind, I don't want you to touch any of the rods when it first goes with a fish. I will set the hook and then I'll give you the rod. Once again, I start feeling a little inadequate. But he was so good at everything he did. If there was a snag, he was up on top and he was whipping the rod, pulling it free of the rocks. I was just amazed. We ended up doing so well that out of 87 boats at the end of the day, we were in third place. We had 25 pounds. Suddenly, we were heroes. And I was a hero just for hanging out with Dusty. The other reference book I wanted to show you is oftentimes we use nonverbal communication. And Joe Navarro is an expert. He's actually an FBI agent, ex-FBI agent. And he's written a very good book on nonverbal communication. This one is What Everybody's Saying. It's kind of like a Bible of different hand gestures, different ways you could read people. His skill set was that he would mirror people's motions and how they would speak, and he would elicit confessions just by casual communication. And he was a leader in nonverbal communication. Once again, Joe Navarro is one of the best reference books when it comes to nonverbal communication. The last thing I just wanted to bring up was one of my other favorite books, Jim Collins, Good to Great. Once again, this is a Bible on what's the difference between a company that's just good and what's the difference in a company that is great. And in this book, they talk about level 5 leaders. Dusty was an exceptional fishing athlete. He had qualities of a level 5 leader, and I wish I could spend more time with him because this guy was just amazing. I spent 8 hours with this guy. I couldn't believe what I learned. Not just fishing, but how you take on challenges. Once again, if you have the opportunity to look up these books, these are great reference books and great lessons in gathering information and building a team. Mr. Toastmaster.